Sammy and Skylar, appreciate you coming down today.
Yeah, you betcha.
And this is your first time here.
We
live so far apart.
I know it.
He lives in Paris, Flying Tigers Field.
Right.
I got to tell you, I was 16 years old, just soloed a baking deuce, and I flew to y'all's field several times.
Right.
That was one of my outings, land there. And your dad was always so nice to me, you know, coming in a little baking deuce, you know, all these other warbird big. But he was always so nice to me, and that was not during the heyday. That was kind of tailing off a little bit. But obviously, I remember you, and then working with up there in Paris, and your son Skylar.
Yes. And
Skylar is really coming along and rebuilding that airport and making it into something awful special again.
Right. And, well, I'm sure proud of him on that.
Well, I'm proud of him too, and it's really great. We've only met here just recently, but anyway, they got Flying Tigers Field just west of Paris, and like I say, back in the heyday in the '70s. Rattle off some of the airplanes that were parked out there on that grass strip.
Oh well, it started out with the T6, the Stearman, the P-51, the Corsair, the Bearcat, the Wildcat. Then he got into the B-25s and 26, DC-3s. The PV1s, 2s, and hired 500, the Lodestar. Got lots of stories to tell you about the Lodestar, and then maybe that's one that you got, that's a polished out one.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be. And
the P-38.
Yeah, two P-38.
Yeah, it is two P-30. It's
yeah,
two P-38.
And he tore out one. And I kept asking him where did one of the P-38 go that actually had the two seats that we did. Had two seats in it that were stretched.
Well, anyway, for those of you that weren't around, you forgot another one of your big ones.
B-17.
There you go,
the B-17, yeah. And then
Yeah.
we started out in DC-4s and 6s. Yeah.
It was an amazing place. Then also, his father was one of the few places in the world you could go and he would let you fly the airplanes. I was born a little bit too late because if you had the ability, and you had to have some skills, but if you had the ability, he'd check you out and let you go solo the P-51 or any.
But Davison came down, and the guy that Larry Mahan.
A lot of people that I have met that are now kind of old-time pilots, they first got their start with your dad, Burchinal Field Flying Tigers, and that was really amazing that he always wanted to share and give back, you know, what he knew about aviation. But anyway, we just got back from the Breckenridge Air Show, and Skylar tagged along with our group, flew his T6. We had 3 T6s go up together, and T-28, and we had a great time. And then when I showed him the pictures of God and Country, the B-25, come to find out, Sammy had flown, got quite a bit of time in this B-25. So anyway, I appreciate you taking the time to come up and seeing what we got. But tell us a little bit about this 25, your experience with it through the Talismans, and its photo
version
journey.
of it. Well,
because it was built after the war, it has no war history. But it filmed a lot of movies.
Lots of movies. Lots of movies and stuff. But I remember it not like this. It was beautiful now. But you know, had the round nose, and when you get up in it, you could actually see all the way around.
And we'll go look at that nose here in a minute. It's right over there. It's in
well,
my
I've
junk
looked at that nose.
I wish I had it out in front of this.
I looked at that nose.
Tell them, like you said, the history of that you know of it.
I just know it from when Frank Thoman owned it. You know, and you know, he got checked out through Daddy. He flew it all the time, but he didn't have a type rating. And so Daddy would give him we went out there and gave him a type rating in it and stuff. And I remember sitting in the back, you know, holding on the seat and stuff like that, and you know, him picking on Frank Thoman. And, you know, Frank Thoman had one leg.
I knew that.
Okay, he got cut off of gangrene and everything, and Daddy would kill one of the engines and then make him push on that leg real hard. And then Frank Thoman would say, "Hey, you know how to pick on a guy that, you know, got a peg leg." But that's what I remember about it.
And you put a lot of, you flew it in California a lot?
Well, we went to different places. I don't know how much you can say that I've flown it, but you know, 25s is what, about 170, 180 mile an hour airplane. And you know, we go to lots of places, you know. So
any movies that you recall that you were
not
involved
on
with?
this not on this airplane.
Okay.
Sure don't.
This airplane, from what we know, it flew the Circle Vision camera, and I believe it was the only one he had that had the circle vision camera mounted. And we've got some pictures of that, and it actually made an around the world trip filming 7 Wonders of the World. And I believe that was a Disney movie.
Yeah,
and
I think it was.
And you was in it though when y'all made the Catch-22.
That's when they was filming from the behind and everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
They were filming Catch-22 out of this airplane or some of the scenes.
Yes.
Now, you guys brought a lot of the airplanes for Catch-22, didn't you?
7. We owned 7 of ourselves, and I was trying to tell him each airplane that we had.
So what airplanes were in Catch-22 that came from your dad?
Yeah, y'all took out what, 7 B-25s?
7 B-25.
And then y'all took out some Corsairs.
No, we only took out 1 Corsair.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what
it
else?
made the movie. There were 7 or 8 of them out there at the Baba Black Sheep on Indian Dunes, and we took the B-17 out there and landed on Indian Dunes where they was landing the Corsairs, and the guy in the DC series thought he was the only big airplane, so we come in there when that motorcycle racetrack landed the B-17 and made the movie MacArthur.
So
yeah.
That was some fun times.
Oh.
Fun times.
Well,
Now, how much filming, it's curious, we see Baba Black Sheep, you see it, and they use a lot of the same scenes throughout the movie.
Yes.
How much filming was there in the Corsair?
a lot of it, but what they do, they take the films and they use it for something else. Like Catch-22, there was not a lot of flying, but we got pictures of this airplane when it was filming Catch-22 because you could tell the nose. It's painted up olive drab and stuff like that, like the rest of them was and stuff. And, the tail was cut off, and they didn't want you to look at it because it was different from the rest of them.
Right.
But,
Interesting.
But then some of our airplanes had full exhaust on it. Some of them had the short stacks all the way over the whole engine. Yeah. So that's the one that me and Daddy was coming out of Allen, Texas, or the Greater Southwest Airport, and the left engine, number 1 cylinder, came out through the cowling. I was in the left side. We had a flame all the way outside, and then the right engine quit us, and we stuck it in a field down in Allen, Texas. Did you remember that one?
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
What year would that have been, roughly?
Probably in the 70s, late 70s or the 80s.
Yeah.
And FAA came by, and what we thought we'd do, when we landed and everything, FAA came by and took pictures of it. Okay, you could see our 3 ruts. They were that deep. We thought the nose wheel was going to go out, but it didn't. And we come up to a terrace that was filled up with water on the other side, and Daddy reached up there and pulled it back, and he had enough flying speed to jump it, and you see the marks of the tail wheel. The wheels.
It's just neat to have someone here that experienced that history back in the 1970s, especially these movies that we all see. But we'll get the list, and I've actually seen a list of the movies that this thing shot.
Yes,
but it was
it
was over 100
movies
that it was responsible for shooting. So after the war, these warbirds found a purpose. A lot of them became corporate aircraft, or they became fire bombers. I mean, from the corporate side, that A-26 with that on-mark conversion.
Yes.
I mean, there's not many corporate airplanes today.
We had one of these with a corporate
really?
deal and everything. I don't know where it went, but it had a funny looking nose, and actually the wings were cut off of it just a little bit.
This one's light, and so it goes pretty fast. This one will sit there and put along around 190 knots.
Really?
It goes.
Yeah. Oh, what power settings?
30-20.
Yeah, see, that's a little higher than what it was. 27-1850 is what we used to run.
Yeah,
and we were running about 170.
Yeah. So you push that one on up, it would probably do the 190.
Yeah.
So, but I think there's about in the 30s, between 30 and 40 of these that will fly. When we went up to Dayton, I think we had 13.
But
I was actually looking through our paperwork, trying to find some more history on it, and I've seen the invitation in 1969 that they had wrote to my grandfather to bring to the Doolittle raid.
Yeah.
And asking him to bring the B-25 up
to the reunion.
Yeah, to the reunion.
They actually wanted us to land it on the beach down at Galveston, I think, is where it was. And they wanted to land the 25 on the beach.
I bet that wouldn't hold up real well next summer.
That's why we didn't. I don't think we did. We took it down to the
Of course, you land
airport.
anything once.
Yes. You might stick there.
But it was neat. You just got back from taking this one to the Doolittle raid, and it's seen in 1969.
Well, now this was the 75th, and there's one man living. It was Dick Cole. He's, I believe, 101. He was Jimmy Doolittle's co-pilot, #1 off the Hornet, and he's the only guy that's left out of that raid. I mean, we're kind of at the end of an era. We just had a World War II reunion back in October. We had 24 World War II vets here, and I know we've lost 5 since October. So we're having that reunion again this year, and a lot of the families for the people who've passed, they're coming too. So I mean, it's still going to be, we're still going to have a lot of fun, and hopefully we have a few of them here. But Sammy, again, I appreciate you coming, taking the time.
You let me look.
And we'll continue on, but and show you some of the other things that we have here in our museum. But really, you need to come back more than once every 30 or 40 years.
Yeah, I won't be back probably another 30.
Okay, well, Eric, thank you for filming.
Yeah,
I really
thank
do.
you.
And Eric's always on the back end of the camera, but he does really an amazing. In fact, let me have that camera for just a second. Eric does actually an amazing job of get on over here for just a second. Get on over with these guys. Eric does an amazing job doing these videos. He calls them walk-around videos, and he really just brings history alive for people who really. We found out that people who are in nursing homes, I think they can't get out. They can't get out and see the museums. They just love his YouTube videos because he finds a pilot and they'll walk around an airplane and just talk about that particular airplane, what it will do, and the specs on it and everything. And he's really developed a following for his walk around videos. So we appreciate what you do, Eric. And he works at Business Jet in Dallas, and he gives amazing service there at Business Jet. So we appreciate those guys. So I'll turn it back over to you, and we'll go from here. How about it?
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, we hauled chickens in ours. Decab hatchery.
Yep. Oh yeah, I know decab.
We hauled chicken in ours for wall
and chickens.
Stuff.
You know, that's not the chickens you go eat. That's the chicken. That's the breeding stock.
Breeding stock.
So that's the very expensive. That's the highest genetic there was.
And we only killed 16,000 on board. We had it just crammed plumb full of chickens and stuff. And we went to 13,000 foot to Nogales. And we saved, I think there was about 80 of them that did.
Yeah.
And a truck winds up, killing a lot more.
Yeah.
Because it takes so longer.
Yeah.
Y'all mind if I?
No, help yourself. Oh. See if you remember anything.
Oh, I do. Yeah, deer, birch seed.
I always tell people pull on the yellow, not the red. They put the nose gear release right where everybody wants to grab, and if you pulled it, it would unlock the nose gear. Of course, it's cantilevered out there; it's over center, so it wouldn't fold up, but it would be a little disheartening for someone to pull that handle. But it looks like it's the handle to get in the airplane. So I said, be sure and pull the yellow, not the red.
The thing is, trying to find you a cool place to lay down when you're on a trip. And I found on the Bombay doors.
How many
on top of it on the Bombay?
How many airplanes did Grandpa have at once?
7 of these.
No, I know, but total around.
30 something. Out of 26.
They weren't Luscombe's and Cubs and
No, it was
serious warbirds.
Right. And I was pulling out when I was texting you last night, and I was pulling out video, and we have videos of a normal day at Flying Tigers. Was we had the Sky Raider flying, the B-25 was flying, Grandpa getting in the T-33, just playing, the 26 flying around, and Dad turning wrenches on it, everything, and that was just a normal day.
I was probably 10, 11, 12 years old, and we had an air show at Mount Pleasant, and I remember your granddad bringing the B-17 to Mount Pleasant.
Try to change the tire on one of these too.
Yeah. Well, hey,
the Corsair's the best. 14 ply, ours, Corsair, trying to change it. And you got to stretch it over.
Getting it over the top.
Yes, yeah, getting it over the top.
And that in the video that I was watching last night, Dad, they were spraying on the 25. They had blew a tire out and they were spraying it. They were spraying it with, I don't know, ether or something, and blowing it back up on the runway.
Yeah, we actually one of our mechanics pulled the landing gear up on us on B-25.
Taxiing out?
No, we were on takeoff.
Oh, really?
And I was sitting back here with the emergency exit. Yeah, see right here?
Yep.
And had my arm out like this. And you'll watch that strut start to extend when you get ready to take off, when it's picking to fly. And next thing you know it, I was crammed into the top and everything, and dirt was everything. I thought it was on fire. And Daddy and Beanie and 2 other guys went out the top. I went out this way. we all ran over here and check, take it, see what was wrong. And Penny said, "Oh my God, oh my God." I said, "What did you do, Penny?" He put a landing gear up on us before it was ready to fly.
Yeah, on takeoff. Yeah, it's so loud. You're using hand signals. You're talking, and on takeoff from these airplanes, you get the nose wheel off the ground. It's totally different than an A-26. A-26, you fly it almost like a bear and just get it going really fast and pull it off. But this one, at 80 mile an hour, you get the nose wheel off the ground, and so I don't know exactly how, but it's happened to you, and it happened to another time. The co-pilot, if there's a miscommunication, he thinks he's in the air,
yes,
and he's not.
Okay, the guy was standing up, and it's hard to look over to see, and he thought it would stop. He's in the air, and he just reached up there and pulled it. And Daddy's in the right seat.
The nose was off the ground. He's probably 100, 110 mile an hour. You'll come off the ground about 120, 25 mile an hour.
Have you seen how short it's come off the ground?
Yeah. In fact, with Stu Dawson, we did the Doolittle takeoff, full flaps.
Yes.
Lots of power. And it comes off the ground at a stupid slow release speed.
Yes, and we took off and everything. You talk about 1,000-something foot.
Yeah, it will get off the ground.
It'll get off the ground.